What's up guys, Cash back again, and early this morning the Embracer Group held a live Q1 report to announce all of their recent acquisitions, and they also answered questions about the status of the acquisition of Crystal Dynamics and the future of Marvel's Avengers, and I'll break down everything we were able to learn about Embracer Group from this report, and why I believe the future will be brighter for Avengers under their leadership. So let's jump into it. So right off the bat, this report was solely centered around the Embracer Group's Q1 acquisitions, meaning everything they acquired between April of 2022 through June of 2022. And they just reported on these acquisitions in mid-August, so it took over a month after the deals were finalized for them to actually announce them officially. I just want to preface this because this is the reason why the acquisition of Avengers or Crystal Dynamics wasn't listed in any of their reports, because the deal is still in the process of being finalized, and it will be a part of Embracer's Q2 financial report, not Q1. But looking at when they actually made an official announcement of their Q1 acquisitions, and taking into account that Q2 runs from July through September, that means at the earliest we would get an official announcement of the deal with Square Enix being complete by mid-December, and possibly not until early 2023. And this isn't a sign that the deal is in danger or anything, it's simply how these things play out, which is why Embracer and Crystal Dynamics have been operating with a business as usual mindset. The development team is currently working on the next content update for Avengers, and will announce when we can expect to see it when they narrow down an attainable deadline. And because of how tight Marvel is when it comes to talking about plans that haven't been officially announced, neither Crystal Dynamics nor Embracer can say much in regards to the deal, which is why when they were asked about it during the Q&A, this was the response.
And fans, and one of the questions that we have received tons of is your game Avengers, Marvel's Avengers. So I just have to ask that question since there's so many sending that in. And can you talk about the future for that game?
It's one of the things with external licensing partners, without commenting on that game in particular, it's sometimes hard to talk about around external licensed IPs. And in the respect of those licensing partners, we need to keep that way. So I'm sure whomever it is within our group or externally from our group will share information when relevant. I'm looking forward to close the acquisition of Eidos Montreal, Crystal Dynamics soon, hopefully very soon.
Yeah.
And credit to them for both asking that question and answering, because they could have easily just dismissed our questions about the status of the deal and Avengers specifically. But I'm not surprised by their response because, again, the deal isn't finalized officially, so there isn't much they can say. But something we were able to learn from this stream was how Embracer Group handles newly acquired studios and IPs, and their approach is to simply enable the studios to execute their vision for their games. They provide resources and support to studios who might not have been able to secure funds prior to their acquisition due to budget restraints or publishers not believing in the project, and they trust the teams to reach their goals. Developers simply pitch their long-term goals for their projects to Embracer and outline what they would need in resources to accomplish these goals, and Embracer Group provides them with the support they need to execute. And that seems like exactly what happened with Crystal Dynamics, and specifically Avengers. Lead developer Brian Wagner has spoken of how the team has had several meetings earlier this year to map out their vision for the game long term, and have identified what they need in terms of resources to accomplish what they need to do, and that's exactly what they would have needed to do to be able to pitch their vision for the game to Embracer Group, who clearly like what they heard, because all of a sudden the team has money to fill new positions, which is not something they were able to do before the deal was announced, and this is all before the deal has been finalized. We know the team is hiring developers specifically to work on new heroes, villains, and levels, because they know that has to be the focus of the game going forward, and they have to be able to deliver on that consistently. And this time last year, the idea of joining in progress seemed like a pipe dream, but now it's rumored to be in active testing because the team is working towards launching a patrol mode in the near future. Brian has also stated that the team is actively looking at ways of implementing crossplay because that's another feature that the team understands would greatly improve the game long term, but something like that is expensive and requires planning, so we don't know when that could arrive, but it is something that they now have the resources to attempt. Thanks to Miller, we know that the game has at least 3 heroes in various stages of development in She-Hulk, the Winter Soldier, and Captain Marvel, and thanks to Brian, we know that 2 new heroes are in very early development. But he's emphasized that the team is well aware that players want bigger heroes like Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, and the work the team is doing now is geared towards being able to deliver on those kinds of heroes more frequently. I know we'd love for the team to be able to share information about what's coming more often, or even teasing things like concept art ahead of announcements, but again, Marvel Games is notorious about keeping a lid on things until they've officially signed off on it, so it's difficult to say if the team will be able to share more in the future once they've officially changed publishers. I understand silence from the team makes players nervous because with a deal in progress, it seems like the floor can drop at any time, but I believe things are a little more secure than most players assume, and as I said in a recent video, the worst we should expect is simply a slight delay to be announced for the upcoming content. But as they've shown, when they have news to announce, they will, and if Miller happens to come across something exciting that hasn't been revealed, he's more than happy to share with the class. But that's everything we got from the Embracer report, and now I'll pass it off to you guys. Are you still pretty nervous about the future of the game, or are you comfortable waiting for the announcement that the deal is finalized and a new licensing agreement has been reached with Marvel? Let me know down below, and make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more Marvel's Avengers content every week. And if you're interested in picking up Avengers merch, shop with Fandom and make sure to use my code in the description to get an additional 10% off. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.